Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. Are you ready to roll?
We are.
Oh, yes.
All right. Now, before we start, if you'd like to work on a question from the eggs while you watch at home, Lisa, you've got one.
If you were frogging, tinking, or laddering down, what would you be indulging in?
It sounds like something to do with amateur dramatics, but I don't know for sure.
That's just my delivery.
At the end of the show, Lisa will tell us. Now, hoping to beat our quiz geniuses today are the Medal Maniacs from South Gloucestershire. Now, this team are all members of the Emerson's Green Running Club in Bristol. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Neil. I am a golf club manager.
Hi, I'm Holly and I'm a clinical technologist.
Hi, I'm John. I'm a deputy head teacher.
Hi, I'm Tracy and I'm a university administrator.
Hi, I'm Jack and I'm a commercial finance analyst.
So, Neil and team, hello.
Hi.
You love your medals, Neil, is that right?
We do. We all enjoy running and many races get rewarded with the medal, and the bigger, the shinier, the blingier, the better.
So what sort of distances do you run?
Oh, a variety. Myself, I like anything marathon plus. Muddier, hillier, the better. But we've got all sorts among the team, fast ones, all sorts of distances.
You've done a coast-to-coast, haven't you, Neil, as well?
I did a coast-to-coast some years back.
Which is from where to where?
From South Shields all across Hadrian's Wall Path.
Right.
To bonus in Solway over 5 days. Everything in a backpack.
Wonderful.
Predetermined B&Bs, marathon every day.
Now, that's a little bit like what Eggheads will feel like. Good luck, challengers. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. As you know, if they fail to win, the prize money rolls over to our next show. Now, Medal Maniacs, the challengers got the better of the Eggheads in the last game, so that at least proves it can be done. And there's £1,000 if you win today. Shall we get cracking?
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Start running. The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of history. So who would like this? And you can take on either Lisa, Steve, Pat, Barry, or Judith.
History, guys. What do you think?
I was going to do history.
Was that going to be you?
History, I think.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
OK.
That'll be Tracy.
Tracy, our university administrator, against which Egghead? Any one of the 5?
I don't know. I might go Steve, actually.
Yeah,
Choose
take
Steve. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Tracy from Medal Maniacs taking on Steve from the Eggheads. And just to make sure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in our legendary question room? Tracy, history, do you want to go first or second?
Could I go first, please, Jeremy?
OK, here we go. The historical term Raj means reign or rule when translated from which language? Hindi, Greek or Spanish?
Well, the only thing I can think of is the British Raj, which was in India. So I don't think it's Greek. I don't think it's Spanish. So I'm going to go for Hindi.
And Hindi is quite right. Well done. Steve, in 1363, a law was passed that required every Englishman to practice which activity every Sunday? Jousting, archery, or wrestling?
Well, it's during the time the 100 Years' War was on, so I imagine that's archery, Jeremy.
It was archery, yeah? OK, here we go. Your question, Tracy. In the feudal system of medieval Britain, what name was given to tenant farmers entirely subject to a lord to whom he paid dues and services in return for land? So were these chevalier, villain, or bailiff?
This is going to be a bit of a guess, and I'm going back to my GCSE history now, which unfortunately was quite a long time ago. I don't think it's chevalier. I don't think it would be bailiff, so I'm going to go with, I'm not sure I can pronounce it, but villain?
Yeah, I said villain, you said villain. It's the right answer. Nicely done. Was that GCSE, did you say?
Yes.
Brilliantly remembered. OK, Steve. In which year did the celebrated lawman of the Old West, Wyatt Earp, die? 1829, 1879, or 1929?
Well, I think the gunfight at the OK Corral was 1881, so sort of leads me to 1929, Jeremy.
Yeah, much later than one might have imagined. You're right, 1929. You're level. History. Third question, Tracy. What is the name of the rebellion that took place in China between 1850 and 1864 that sought to overthrow the Qing dynasty? Was it the Taiping Rebellion, the Satsuma Rebellion, or the White Lotus Rebellion?
This one I definitely have no idea about. I didn't do this one in GCSE history. Oh, gosh. The only thing I can think of, I'm thinking of a lotus flower in sort of Chinese culture, so I'm going to guess the White Lotus Rebellion.
I don't know if there was a White Lotus or a Satsuma Rebellion, but it's the Taiping Rebellion we wanted for this. So 2 out of 3. Steve can book his seat in the final if he gets this right. What was the name of the British craft that captured a German Enigma code machine in 1941? Steve, was it HMS Argus, HMS Bulldog, or HMS Belfast?
I've read this story. Because I think I've heard of HMS Belfast and Argus in other scenarios. Bulldog's the one that's standing out because I've not heard of that in conjunction with anything else, so I'm thinking, why is it there? So it's pretty flimsy, but I'll say HMS Bulldog, Jeremy.
HMS Bulldog is your answer. Let's see, Eggheads, do we know?
I think that's right. I think that's right.
Tentatively think so. The correct answer is HMS Bulldog.
Well done.
Well done, Steve. Sorry, Tracy. They are good, these quizzes, aren't they?
Very good.
So you've been knocked out by our Egghead, but it is early days. Come back to us, both of you, and we'll play round 2. Now, I was thinking that Satsuma and White Lotus Rebellion looked made up, but not so, Eggheads.
No, they're both genuine. The Satsuma one is the interesting one because it was a war by the samurai in Japan against the Japanese government because the Japanese government didn't have a war that they could go and fight in.
Oh, I see. So they invented their own war because
They wanted their own war.
They hadn't been sent on one. No. Goodness me. And anyone, that was a Satsuma. White Lotus, anyone? Anyone got anything on that?
It's China. I'm not quite sure on the date.
Right. Thank you, Eggs. As it stands, Medal Maniacs have lost 1 brain from the final round. The Eggheads are quizzing well. Lost none so far. The next subject is arts and books. So Neil and team, who wants this?
This is a tough one. We thought this might happen. What do you think? Anybody fancy it?
I can be a sacrificial lamb.
Well,
I'm okay with books.
Okay.
Arts, not my strongest, so I'm hoping 3 questions maybe on books that I know.
do you want to take your chance?
But I can have a go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I'll take
Go on,
this
Holly.
Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Holly.
fine. You've got, while you're here, you might as well. Come
Yeah.
on. OK, who do you want to take on?
No,
Can't be Steve.
Entirely your choice. What do you think?
I don't know. Should I take Pat?
I think Judith's
Yeah.
pretty good on this. I think she's pretty good on this.
Yeah. Go, Pat. Have a go at Pat just to see if you can knock him out.
Yeah.
I'd like to take on Pat, please.
Very good. Holly from Medal Maniacs trying to win a medal against Pat from the Eggheads. And please take your positions, both of you. Holly, you are a clinical technologist in Bristol.
Yes, that's correct.
So working in healthcare, I thought you might want to take on science.
It would have been my preferred subject.
Well, I never know what's coming, so
No.
you know, maybe that it wasn't there anyway.
Possibly, yes.
Holly, arts and books. Do you want to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please.
Good luck. In the Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, what type of creatures are the Bandalog that kidnap Mowgli? Elephants, bears, or monkeys?
This one, I believe, is not an elephant, not a bear, that was blue, and I believe it's the king of the swinger zone, the monkeys.
You're right, monkeys is correct. Well done, 1 point to you. Pat, your question. In which country was Louisa May Alcott's book Little Women set? Mexico, England, or the USA?
I think it deals with life in New England, which is the USA.
USA is correct. Back we go to Holly for your second question. Which of these writers is best known for their work in the genres of science fiction and fantasy? Ursula Le Guin, Helen Fielding, or Philippa Gregory?
Oh, this one I am not sure of. I have heard of Philippa Gregory, and I do read some science fiction books, and I'm wondering whether that's why I've heard of her. I think I will go with Philippa Gregory.
It's not her. I've got a feeling she does Kings and Queens, fiction.
Historical novels.
Historical novels around the Tudors and all that kind of thing. And Helen Fielding, you may know who was...
Bridget Jones's Diary.
Bridget Jones. Ursula Le Guin is the answer, Holly.
Okay.
Pat, your question to take the lead. How did Lady Caroline Lamb famously describe the poet Lord Byron? Was he a harmless drudge, mad, bad, and dangerous to know, or a performing flea?
I think a harmless drudge is Dr. Johnson's description of a lexicographer. And I'm not sure about a performing flea, but certainly Evelyn Waugh once described P.G. Wodehouse as the performing flea of English literature, approvingly. But Lord Byron was mad, bad, and dangerous to know.
I didn't know that quote was about him, so you filled me in there. Thank you. Mad, bad, and dangerous to know was indeed the answer. Caroline Lamb of Lord Byron. Did you know that, Holly?
I didn't know.
Great line, though.
It is,
We'll
yes.
have to remember it. Store it up.
Definitely.
Okay, so you need to get this right to stay in. Your third question. Which Spanish artist had the middle names Diego, Jose, Francisco, de Paula, Juan, Nepomuceno, Crispin, Crispiano, Maria Remedios de la Santísima Trinidad Ruiz? That is like the Monty Python election sketch.
Wow.
Was it Diego Velázquez, Francisco Goya, or Pablo Picasso? Who was that?
Ooh. I said a middle name Diego, so I don't know whether it would be a Diego. So I think I'll discount that one. Francisco Goya or Pablo Picasso. I'm going to go with Francisco Goya.
I say that because your logic was so brilliant with Velázquez, and then I thought, maybe you're going to work out there's a Francisco in the middle name, and it can't be Goya either. Pablo Picasso is the answer. So, no way back for Holly. Pat is in the final round. Looking difficult for our challengers, but just keep challenging here. Keep running. It's what you do. Return to us, we'll play round 3. We had that phrase, performing flea. Pat, it was the title of a book that was essentially a sequence of letters between P.G. Wodehouse and William Townend. Oh. So you were in the right zone with your explanation. In fact, both could be true. Lovely quotes we have on this show. The scum of the earth came up the other day. Who said that?
Wellington.
Duke of Wellington, that's right, of his own army. So, I'm learning all the time here. As it stands, Medal Maniacs have lost 2 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have lost none so far. Looking a little bit too smug. You need to unsettle them now, shake them up, and it's music. Who would like music?
Neil.
I think this was mine.
Okay, team captain.
Are we happy? Yeah.
And it's Lisa or Barry or Judith. Neil, who would you like?
We'll try Judith, please.
Oh.
Okay, Neil from Medal Maniacs taking on Judith on music. You like a cantata?
I like a cantata, but I don't like much else.
Good. And your favourite band is the Bare Naked Ladies?
They once upon a time, yes, a long time ago.
Yeah, OK, well, there we are. Perfect combination. So, to ensure there's no conferring, please go to the question room. Well, Neil, when I mentioned music, everyone turned to you.
Yeah, it was obvious. I'm always listening to Popmaster, Radio 2. Dad's a DJ. So as long as it's 1940s and later, anything before that I might struggle, but we'll see.
I know the feeling. And who do you love the most?
At the moment, Walk Off the Earth, Walk the Moon, all the bands that nobody's really heard of, not really chart stuff, just a bit obscure.
Great stuff. OK, well, good luck against Judith. So, Neil, would you like to go first or second?
We'll go first.
All right, your first question, Neil. Here we go. River was a UK #1 single in 2018 for Eminem in collaboration with which UK singer? James Blunt, Ed Sheeran, or Rick Astley?
Now, I would like to think I knew this straight away, but I don't. So it'll be a bit of deduction. I don't think it's Rick Astley. I know he's made a comeback, but I don't think it's him. Could be Ed Sheeran. He's doing lots of collaborations with lots of people. I don't think it's James Blunt, so I will go for Ed Sheeran.
Do you know this, teammates?
Yes.
Is he right?
Yeah, I hope
You're
so.
right. Ed Sheeran is correct. Good. I thought you were going to rule him out for a second there. You had us on the edge of our seats. Judith, music. Which of these is a song from the musical 7 Brides for 7 Brothers? Happy talk? Bless Your Beautiful Hide, or You'll Never Walk Alone?
Well, Happy Talk, I think, is from South Pacific, isn't it? and You'll Never Walk Alone's Carousel, I think. So it must be Bless Your Beautiful Hide.
I think that's brilliant logic. You're right. Bless your beautiful hide. Okay, Neil. Which of these people was a guitarist in The Grateful Dead? David Crosby, Jerry Garcia, or Ronnie Wood?
Fairly certain that it's not David Crosby, equally Ronnie Wood, so we'll go Jerry Garcia, please.
Yeah, famously, Jerry Garcia. Okay, Judith, your question. What was Prince's first ever UK Top 40 hit single? Was it 1999, Kiss, or Bat Dance?
No idea. Kiss.
1999. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
So what's happening here? Eggheads, Judith, 1 point. Neil, 2 points. Get this right, you're in the final round. And maybe you're turning the tide. What was the nickname of the opera singer, Joan Sutherland? Was she La Bellissima, La Magnifica, or La Stupenda?
I don't have a clue, but La Magnifica and La Stupenda don't quite sound right to me, so I will take a punt on La Bellissima.
La Bellissima, but that would mean the beautiful, would it, Judith?
Yes, I think it's La Stupenda.
It is La Stupenda. La Stupenda is the answer. So Neil, away back in for Judith. Judith, get this right. And we go to sudden death. The actor Donald Glover also releases music under which name? Is it Mist, Boots Riley, or Childish Gambino?
I have absolutely no idea. I rather like Childish Gambino.
Just as a collection of words?
Well, yes, exactly. And also Magic Right, you never know.
Yeah, you do go down the right when there is no obvious answer. Childish Gambino is correct, Judith. Well done.
It's
He did some famous video. He's very good, actually. Did a video recently which millions of people watched in the first day. Okay, so she's got back into it, Neil. You let her back in. I hope it's not fatal. Are we feeling the tension here? Yeah, all right, they're rooting for you here. Okay. Neil, and we go to sudden death. It gets a bit harder. I don't give you options, okay? Mm-hmm. Here we go. The singer Ariana Grande was born in which country in 1993?
I think she's American.
So which country?
USA.
USA is right. Well done. Judith, Join the Circus and Love Makes Such Fools of Us All are songs from which stage musical?
Join the Circus and Love Makes Fools of Us All.
Love Makes Such Fools of Us All.
Barnum.
Barnum is right. Back we go to you, Neil. Which traditional hymn contains these lyrics? Hold thou thy cross before my closing eyes, shine through the gloom and point me to the skies. Heaven's morning breaks and earth's vain shadows flee.
Not very good with hymns. I'm going to take a guess at Jerusalem.
No, Abide With Me. Judith, your question. Recollections of Country Life was the subtitle of which symphony by Beethoven?
Oh, the Pastoral Symphony.
Pastoral Symphony is correct. Recollections of Country Life was the subtitle of it. You've taken the round, Judith, on music. Well done. Neil, sorry, knocked out by our egghead there.
Yes, got
you
done on the old stuff.
Closer and closer there to getting one out. So just come back to us. We've got one more round to play before the final. As it stands, Medal Maniacs have now lost 3 from the final round, and the Eggheads are all still there, looking pretty compact. So the next subject is sport. This is good, right?
We know who that falls to.
John or Jack?
Me.
Okay, Jack.
Definitely Jack.
Great stuff. So you're going to be taking on either Barry or Lisa.
Lisa. Yeah, Lisa.
Yeah.
Very good. Jack from Medal Maniacs taking on Lisa from the Eggheads. And for the last time, please take your positions in the question room. Okay, sport, Jack. I know you like this subject. Do you want to go first or second?
I think seeing as going first hasn't worked so far, I'll try second, mix it up.
Here we go. Lisa, who was Liverpool's ill-fated goalkeeper for the 2018 Champions League final against Real Madrid? Is it Jerzy Dudek, Loris Karius, or Simon Mignolet?
I think they've all been Liverpool keepers at some point, which Does make it a little harder, but it was poor old Loris Karius.
Yes, he had a hard old time, didn't he? Loris Karius is the right answer. Back to you, Jack. In which year did the Soviet Union refuse to send a team to the Summer Olympic Games? 1968, 1976, or 1984?
Oh, it's going to have to be a bit of a guess. Olympics isn't my strongest subject. I'm going to go with 76. Let's go in the middle.
Now, where were the Olympics in 76, Eggheads?
Montreal.
Montreal. And where were they in 84, Lisa?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, and that was the year. 84 was the boycott, and it was all off the back of Afghanistan and all kinds of Cold War stuff. So, Lisa in the lead. Lisa, your second question. Which of these tennis players is the eldest? Boris Becker, Pete Sampras, or John McEnroe?
You got to put Sampras as the youngest because he was playing well into the 90s. Mind you, so was Becker, but he was certainly older than Sampras at the time. And then you're in a straight fight between Boris and McEnroe. I think you would still put McEnroe. Yeah, of course McEnroe's older because he was playing he played in the Wimbledon final the year I was born. And Becker didn't win his first Wimbledon until later than that, but I can't remember the year. 83, 85, something like that. It must be John McEnroe.
John McEnroe is correct. Well done, Super Mac. Okay, Jack, you must get this one right to stay in. The 20-year-old Dom Bess made his debut for England in which sport in 2018? Cricket, rugby league, or athletics?
I don't think it's going to be athletics. So, between rugby league and cricket, I'm going to go with cricket.
Cricket is correct. Well done. So, 2-1. Lisa, you can take the round with this question. What was the nickname of the Canadian former world snooker champion, Cliff Thorburn? Was he nicknamed the Tornado, the Nugget, or the Grinder?
Steve Davis was the Nugget, wasn't he? But Cliff Thorburn was the Grinder.
If you've got this right, you've won the round. Eggheads, is she right?
Yeah.
The Grinder was Cliff Thorburn. Well done, Lisa. You're in the final round. And sorry to you, Jack, you've been knocked out. Come back to us, both of you. We will play that final round for £1,000. So this is what we have been playing towards. It's time for our final round. As always, we have general knowledge questions. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads are not allowed to take part in this round. So it is all from the challengers' side, I'm afraid. Neil, Holly, Tracy and Jack from Medal Maniacs, would you please now leave the studio? All right, John, you're playing to win Medal Maniacs £1,000. I know you weren't supposed to end up on your own, but you could, believe me, you can win from that position. Lisa, Steve, Pat, Barry and Judith, here you are, just playing to get the Eggheads back on the road, back to winning ways. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. They're all general knowledge, OK? And normally I say you can confer, but it's a bit difficult because all your friends are back there. But, John, the key question is whether your one brain can defeat these 5. So would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, thanks.
OK, we're all rooting for you. And here's your first question, John. The word knickerbocker is an old-fashioned term for someone from which US city? Knickerbocker. Is it Los Angeles, Dallas, or New York?
So, knickerbocker, I know, is an item of clothing. I'm assuming that it's going to be earlier rather than later. So I'm going to head towards New York.
I think your logic is great. New York is quite right. And there is a team called the New York Knicks.
Yes, the
isn't
NBA
there?
franchise.
New York's right. Well done, John. Eggheads, which of these ski resorts is located in Switzerland? Val d'Isère, Klosters, or Whistler?
Klosters.
Whistler is British Columbia. And Val d'Isère is France.
France, yeah. Clusters, Jeremy.
Klosters is right. 1 each. John, back to you, playing for £1,000. In May 2018, which Oscar-winning actor played the lead role in a BBC TV adaptation of King Lear? Anthony Hopkins, Eddie Redmayne, or Ben Kingsley?
OK, so I'm looking at them thinking which ones are Oscar winners. And I'm sure, or I'm not so sure, but I think Eddie Redmayne did win an Oscar. So I'm going to go for him, Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne. OK, he is the youngest by quite some way. Is he an Oscar winner?
They're all Oscar winners.
Right, so you couldn't narrow it down through that. Is there any way you can narrow it down here?
Well,
I guess age-wise, Eddie
age
Redmayne wouldn't be likely King Lear.
He's too young.
So
I think
who would you
Anthony
go
Hopkins
for?
is the
Anthony
oldest.
Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins is the answer. So a chance for the Eggheads to pull ahead. 4 of the 5 members of the infamous Cambridge spy ring attended which Cambridge college? Eggheads, Corpus Christi, Peterhouse, or Trinity?
I had a feeling for Trinity.
Yeah, they called them Trinity
No.
Apostles or something, no, Cambridge Apostles, but I thought Trinity straight away.
I really would have thought it was Trinity on the basis it's the biggest, the poshest and the best known. So, you know, lots of government people would have been the basis for that.
OK. Well, we're not 100% sure, but the gut feeling amongst us is that they all attended Trinity.
Thought about it. Not much to go on, but Trinity's right. Well done. You're ahead, and that means you do need to get this one right, John, to keep the contest alive. During a solar eclipse, what name is given to the string of bright lights visible at the edge of the darkened moon? Is that St. Elmo's fire, Bailey's beads, or the Wilson-Bapu effect?
There are at least 2 that I've not heard of. So I'm going to go with the one that I've heard, which is St. Elmo's fire.
St. Elmo's fire. Now, I had a feeling this was to do with mountaineering and electricity, or what is
Normally
it?
seen at the top of ships' masts by when lightning strikes it.
Halyards and the rigging.
It's not St. Elmo's fire. I'm really sorry, John. The answer is Bailey's beads, so we have to say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won. Bad luck, John. Well played, team. Thanks so much for coming. It's hard to, when they've been defeated, they come off a defeat. They're very steely, these Eggheads. They don't like to lose twice in a row. So here you are, all 5 of you Eggheads. You played well. They've done what comes naturally to them, and here you are reigning over Quizland again. So challengers, you don't win the £1,000. We roll that money over to our next show. And Eggheads, we wonder if this might be the start of something big. Oh, before we go, Lisa, you had a question.
So I did. OK, so if you were frogging, tinking or laddering down, what would you be indulging in?
I was thinking the Gloucester Cheese Festival. I was thinking amateur dramatics. I don't know.
You are thinking far too big, Mr. Vine. You would be knitting. They're all
knitting?
Knitting. They're all basically terms for undoing mistakes once you've made them, which is why Judith doesn't know, because she never makes any mistakes. Tinking is knitting backwards, which is effectively what you do. You just sort of knit backwards, and they have one called frogging, because you basically rip it up. So you rip it, rip it, rip it. Frog.
Oh, brilliant, Lisa. Thank you. I hope you got that at home. Do join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat this lot before they get into their stride. That's the key thing. There'll be £2,000 to win. Until then, goodbye.